Been a bit of a rough week, and so begs the question, will our art save us? Hi, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. And first, let me start by saying, mwah, my new subscribers, I love you. I have to tell you, just genuinely, it thrills me. It's almost as thrilling as when somebody buys a piece of my fiber art. But also thank you to all my old subscribers. Many of you have been through so many different iterations with me. And I'm so happy that you're here. And you know what? It's been a bit of a rough week for some of us. For all kinds of reasons. Things might look a little bit grim or dim out there. And so it's a wonderful opportunity to think about, will our art save us? How will our art save us? Is that actually true? And if it is, how can we utilize that? Because
we need some help here.
But before I go on with my little spiel, I want to tell you that today, through midnight today, if you're watching this on Friday the oh my gosh, I'm really sorry. I don't know what day it is, 23rd, 24th, something like that. I am holding an auction on social media for highest bidder gets one of these 3 tapestries. The beginning is in the end. Really good, huh? That's a good message. And true colors, look at this beauty. I love this one. Oh, I mean, I love all of them. And the waterfall piece, which it does have another name. But right now, I can't remember it. Okay, so these are being auctioned off. The bids now at 50% is going to the Food Bank of Western Mass. Don't forget, give me the thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed. I love you, thank you. All right, will our art save us? I mean, you're looking at some of my fiber art. What do you think? You think it's on its way to saving the world? This is a very complicated thing, and I've seen other people talk about it and speak about it. You know, what is possible with art? First off, you may not think you're making art. If you're a crafter, you are a creator, you are a multi-talented kind of person, you may not be thinking of yourself as an artist or somebody making art. But all of that is art. And I have a 2-pronged answer, and this is really important because things are big. And I don't want to be trite, but it is important that we all check in and know that creating and making is a saving grace for each of us as individuals. Never ever underestimate the power of you creating for yourself. As soon as you get yourself into creative mode, you are actually in a generative place. You are tapped in, you are tuned in, you are connected. It's the difference between just thinking about making art or just going to the grocery store and doing your chores and your laundry, taking care of your kids, blah, 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 whatever it is you're doing, and getting plugged in. When we're just going through, doing the drudgery, reading the news, being depressed, being upset, it's like we're not plugged in. When you get creative, when you are making your art, when you are becoming the artist maker that you really are by actually making it, then you are like a light bulb, or a light, I shouldn't say, not like a light bulb. You are like a light, like a computer. You are plugged in. When we're plugged in, we become more powerful. But here's the key thing. How does art save us? I mean, honestly, I'm not somebody who thinks just going to Mass MoCA and seeing a bunch of incredible, creative, modern art is going to save the world. And no offense to anybody. And I'm not under the impression that, when you go over, and I know you will, and bid on one of these pieces, you get it and you receive it and you're filled with love and joy, which I know you will be because each piece is filled with love and joy. What actually is happening when we are getting ourselves into the creative mode or looking at art and being in art, wait for it, because this is the important part. Brief pause just to quote Albert Einstein again, and I think I quoted him a couple weeks ago to say that we cannot solve the problems that we have with the same consciousness that created them. So what does it do when we get into creative art making mode? It shifts our consciousness. And I think that's like the central most important piece. And it can also happen when we're looking at art or touching at art or interacting. And I think as you see my breath, can you see my breath? It is so cold in my studio, and I didn't want to put the heater on because it makes the blowing sound, and I want this to be so beautiful for all of you. So if you see my breath, I am in fact that cold. But back to the main point. When you get into your creative space, and of course this happens in other places too, like for when you're walking or when you're meditating, it happens in other places. You leave this level of consciousness that's like everything is just a pile of dirt, and we could say a really big pile of gross manure. Then when we're in our art space, or we're interacting with art, or we're looking at it, we're really meditating on it and imbibing it, we change and we shift and go, that's not just a pile of poo, that's actually compost that's going to make things grow. So the main way that art actually saves us is it brings us into a more powerful place. Listen, I can't come up with all the solutions to change all the things that be changed. I honestly am praying to know what I should do as an individual person to keep bringing good and doing good and helping. But I can't access even any of those answers when I'm like, like crazy, everything's awful, I'm awful, the world's awful, blah. So when I sit down and I weave, when I get into a flow with my writing, any of those things, I leave that state of consciousness. We're literally going into different brain waves, right? You have experienced this. And then when you're in that creative art making space, answers can come because you are plugged in, and we are plugged into higher thought, higher power. And as you know, because I've talked about this before, for me, it is really spiritual practice. And for me, we're having spiritual problems and they need spiritual solutions. And what is art? But a really powerful way to be in the wide, encompassing, expansive spirituality. And it helps to bring us the answers that we need personally, not because we're trying to figure them out with that same level of consciousness, but because the mind becomes more spacious and more open. Okay, so those are my thoughts. For what they're worth, keep on creating, keep on making. It's really important for us as individuals to be in a generative, life-giving space. Wouldn't you agree? And don't forget, head on over. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram, or leave a comment and bid on one of these beautiful, beautiful fiber art pieces that could be on your wall, bringing you love and shifting your consciousness. Don't forget, thumbs up and subscribe. I hope you have a truly creative day.